Hi, boys and girls. Today we are going to continue learning about new types of landforms and bodies of water. Yesterday, we talked about mountains and a plateau. Remember, a mountain is a landform with a peak. That means it comes together at a point at the top, and it's high above the flat land. So we have flat land and then a high peak. That's a mountain. A plateau is a piece of land that's elevated. So it's higher up, but it's flat. So it's not like flat just on the ground. It has steep sides like a mountain does, but it doesn't come to a point. It doesn't have a peak. It is flat on the top. So this is almost what a plateau looks like. This is a mountain, comes to a point, and this is a plateau. It's flat. We're going to go through a couple more vocabulary words today. The next landform I want to talk about is a plain. Have you ever heard of a plain? A plain is a large area of flat land without trees. So let's write that down. Plains is a large area of flat land without any trees. Think of a farm. Think of farmland or like a cornfield. It's a lot of open land that's flat. Now we know my artist skills aren't that great. I know. But I'm going to try to draw what I think a plain would be. My colors aren't working. So I'm going to try to draw just maybe some flat. That's not really flat. Doesn't have to be flat. Some just flat land. And maybe I'll draw some grass. My little pen is not working. I'm trying to make it work with the colors. I'm going to draw some grass. And maybe I would even draw a couple flowers. Because plains have just flat land and maybe it's somewhere where you can grow some plants, some crops. That's what a plain is. It's just a lot of flat land. The flowers look really large. If you're drawing flowers, make sure you try to draw them a little smaller than that. That is what a plain is. And we can go back to this picture. I actually have another picture. Look at here. Look at all of that flat land. This view is like from some type of an airplane. So when you see these little square pieces of flat land, that's a plain. Now way back there, we might see some mountains, but over here, right in the front, we see the plains. Let's see what our next vocabulary word is. What is the next landform? Next I have a hill. Now you might think it looks similar to a mountain, and it does look similar, but a mountain comes to a pointy peak, and a hill is curved on the top. It's not pointy, it's more curved, and it's not as high as a mountain. Scroll down to plain hill. A hill is a raised area of land that's not as high as a mountain. So I'm going to write a hill, a raised area of land that is not as high as a mountain. Alrighty, you can copy that down. And I'm going to start to draw it. My version of a hill. So, goes up and like that. My drawing of a mountain looks pretty different. My drawing of a mountain was very steep and it comes to a peak at the top, a nice big point, and it's super tall. A hill is shorter than a mountain and it's not very pointy at the top. It is curved. But it is raised. It's not flat like a plane. Think about going down a hill to sled on. It's not as big as a mountain that maybe you would ski down, but a hill is still raised and you could sled down it. You can pause and write that and draw your picture. I'm going to go down. I think we'll have time for 2 more words today. Ooh, next we have a valley. Have you ever heard of a valley? There is a song I like to sing to help you remember the difference between a mountain and a valley. You might not like my singing voice, but I'll sing it to you in a minute. So a valley is an area of low land between hills or mountains. So look, here I see maybe a mountain or a hill, and the valley is right in here. It's the low part right in between the mountains. That is what a valley is. So I'm going to write an area of low land between mountains or hills. You can pause and write that down. Oh, look at all those colors I can get. I didn't know that. So to show you a valley, I'm going to draw some mountains first. And right down here at the bottom of my mountain is going to be my valley. And I'm going to draw an arrow to show this is the valley. The valley is the low piece of land between the mountains or hills. And it's low. So again, you can pause this, write it down, draw your own picture. The song I like to sing to remember is Ain't No Mountain High Enough. So mountains are high, and then it goes, Ain't No Valley Low Enough. So that can help you remember. Mountains are high, valleys are low. And we have time for one more word, one more vocabulary. A peninsula. Have you ever heard of a peninsula? A peninsula is land that is almost completely surrounded by water. It's not an island. An island has water all around it. A peninsula has water almost all around it. A peninsula has water on 3 sides. So we're going to say peninsula. An area of land that is almost completely surrounded by water. Usually 3 sides. So a peninsula usually has 3 sides surrounded by water, and that last side is usually connected to some more land. I'll try to show you in a picture what I'm talking about. I'm going to use the black though. First, there. Okay, so say this is land, and this is my peninsula. and say that's just connected to more land. This is water on this side, water on the front side, and water on the right side. This here, we're marking the X, is the peninsula. This body of land, this landform that is surrounded almost all by water. It has 3 sides covered by water. It's not an island. An island has water all around every side. You can't get to an island by land. You either have to fly to an island or take a boat to an island. But a peninsula is still connected to land. It's not totally covered by water or surrounded by water. All right, so today, again, feel free to pause. Today we learned about plains, which is large flat land with no trees, a hill, which is a raised area of land, but it's not pointy or as big as a mountain. We learned about a valley, which is that low piece of land between the mountains, and a peninsula, an area of land that is almost surrounded by water. It has water usually on 3 sides. So if you look, here's side 1, side 2, and side 3, surrounded by water. All right, I'll see you tomorrow for more social studies, for more science.